Okay, we're going to pick up with number 5 and 6. So in this case, I have r minus 5 and 2r. So the common denominator is 2r, r minus 5. r cannot be 0, and r cannot be 5. Both of those things would make the denominator 0. So I'm going to multiply both sides once again by the common denominator, same thing I've been doing. Cancel out the things that are the same. Multiply by what's left, and end up with a very simple equation to solve. In this case, I end up with negative 5r equals negative 35, so r is 7. Okay, on this next one, common denominator is 3x. X cannot be 0. Multiply everything by 3x, even the last number by itself. Cancel the things that are the same. 10x equals 12 plus 6x. Once again, from there, solve the very simple equation of 10x equals 12 plus 6x. Okay, and then I end up with 4x equals 12, so x is 3. Now, I think the hardest part about this is coming up with a common denominator, and so I want to make sure that we have a chance to look at that. So when I'm talking about the LCD, I am saying, what is the thing that we can multiply to get both sides to be? So if I had a problem with just a regular fraction with 10 and 4, okay, I could break 10 down to 5 and 2, and 4 down to 2 and 2. So my common denominator would be 5, okay, then it would be 2. Now this 2 counts for both of those, one of each. But then my 4 has an extra 2. So my common denominator would be 20. And I know this is correct because 4 times 5 would get me 20. And 4 times 2 would get me 10, meaning would get me 20. Meaning I can get both of those. I can get 10 and 4 to both be 20. I can multiply them by something to get to be 20. Now, it's not the least common, greatest common factor. Okay, yes, they both have a 2 you can divide out. It's not the greatest common factor. It's the least common multiple, meaning you have to multiply to get it. And the best way I can say this, it can't be any smaller than the biggest one. So if my biggest number was 10, my greatest common denominator can't be any smaller than 10. It has to be bigger than 10. 10 or bigger. So the same is true whenever we have variables. So if I have x plus 6 and 3x, okay, if I factor x plus 6, that's just x plus 6. That's the only way it factors. 3x factors to 3 and x. So my factors are x plus 6, 3, and x. And I know this is correct because x plus 6, I can multiply it times 3x, and 3x I can multiply times x plus 6, and now my denominator is the same. So that's the trickiest part, is finding the common denominator. And you're just going to have to keep working on problems to find it. But remember, it's not the greatest common factor, it's the least common multiple. And really think about those words, what those words mean. Greatest common factor, least common multiple. Okay? It's not this one, it's this one. Okay? Common multiple, meaning it's going to multiply and get bigger, not be something smaller. So it has to include everything. Okay, hope that helps, and I'll do one more video with the last few problems.